Hello everyone, I'm Hesham, and today I'm excited to share our latest research in the title of Exploiting Temporal State-Space Sharing for Video Semantic Segmentation. So, why exactly should we care about video semantic segmentation? Because virtually every dynamic visual applications needs it, like autonomous vehicles, robotics, AR, or even sports analysis. Basically, VSS is about understanding what's happening and where it's happening in videos. For example, as we can see below, the 4 tracks that we can see here, the first one is a raw video, and the next is a traditional frame-wise segmentation, followed with clip-wise segmentation where video is processed as small batches, slightly better, but they lose continuity due to very limited context. Finally is the last clip, shows what we are aiming for, smooth, consistent, and continuous segmentation. Before diving deeper, let's quickly just cover on the current landscape. So currently, we could see that there are 4 main approaches that dominate the VSS research. Looking into it, we can see that these methods typically how they look like. Each has their own sophisticated pipelines to tackle the task in their own way, but each have their own limitations in their own approaches. Let's focus on their limitations. Here, talking about each of the methods, the frame-wise methods have a bit of flickering as we saw in the very first video, due to the lack of temporal information, and furthermore, they have a lot of redundancy in terms of computation because they don't use the continuous frames redundancy in videos. The next is optical flow methods, which while aligns the frames using motion estimates, they face problems in stability, especially when it comes to the estimations of this optical flow. And it also leads to additional computations. And the next is transformer-based methods. Using the attention mechanisms are well known to be computationally expensive, and they are actually known for scalability issues, especially during implementations. And finally is the RNN-based models. While they may be seemingly good in theory, they face problems due to forgetting and lack of parallelization. So overall, the problems could be summarized in 3 main points, with problems in temporal coherence, scalability, and effective spatial-temporal integration, which, while theoretically handled in RNNs, are not well implementable. So our answer to all these problems is TV3S, Temporal Video State-Space Sharing Model. So at its core, our idea is quite simple. Every small spatial patches has its own hidden state space, which is passed across time. Selective gating is used to pass only useful temporal information, while the patch-wise parallel processing ensures efficiency in GPU usage. To tackle local information consistency in processing the patches independently, shifted and unshifted windows help the patch to capture information from neighbors, ensuring smooth transitions. On the right, we can see our TV3S blocks, which is of very minimal complexity and it's simple enough to be easily implemented. Here is our full pipeline. So in the model, each spatial feature map from the encoder is split into patches, and these patches are independently processed in parallel through the temporal state-space modules, or TSS. At the end, a single linear decoder generates the final masks. Due to the parallel processing of patches, it leads to high parallelization. With the use of state-space models, it needs near linear computational requirements, and the sharing of local hidden space states helps in sharing all the key information through a very small memory cache. This combination of 3 is what makes our method to work smoothly in videos. So how about training? The training is simple and it's end-to-end. Here, the training is just done with 4 sparse frames as input, and the loss is calculated with weighted cross-entropy loss to teach the model to pay attention to the overall temporal coherence. To check on the number of templates and how it affects the model, we could see that the model works well even with less number of templates being exposed during training. And during inference, as seen, we continuously pass forward the hidden states without buffering any other information, hence making the inference memory light. And the result here, the first result denotes the performance in the VSPW dataset, and the second for the cityscapes. Here we could see that the model is able to achieve both quantitatively well in terms of MIOU and its visual consistency, while achieving near real-time inference. Thank you for your time. Our codes and models are published in GitHub, and the paper is also available. If you may have any questions or anything, please feel free to connect and let's have a chat. Thank you.